Good morning to all. This class, I would like to take a chapter from history, the rise of nationalism in Europe, chapter number 1. As we start the chapter, the first thing that comes or that we can see is a picture or the painting which is painted by Frederick Sorio. Now in this picture he tried to show that there are series of people from Europe and America marching in a long train offering homage to Statue of Liberty, and the Statue of Liberty is personified by the artist as a female figure, and she is carrying or holding a torch of enlightenment and a charter of rights of men on the other. Now because of which the people are passing by and paying their homage, because the torch of enlightenment means they get knowledge, they get enlightened, and charter of human rights means they got to know what are their rights. So they are very happy and they are passing by this Statue of Liberty, and when you look above you will find Christ and other other angels are also looking down and blessing them. And why they are blessing? Because those people who are standing on the painting does not belong to one country, they belong to different countries. It started from Europe and America. Okay, now you can see some examples that I can give you is USA, Switzerland, Germany, Austria, Kingdom of Two Sicilies, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland, Hungary and Russia. All these people took part in this rally, and can be seen forming a line and passing by the Statue of Liberty. Just in front of those people, in front means little forehead, you will find shatters, or you will find pieces of something, and these pieces of something are nothing but they show that the painting is trying to show that whoever try to control the common people, when I say control means dictators, if there are any dictator who try to dictate them, they are brought to the dust. Okay, that means they are shattered. Okay, and this is done by one word which he uses is plebiscite. Okay, that is, in his painting he tried to show this. What is that? Plebiscite. Now what is plebiscite? It's nothing but it's a direct vote in which the entire electorate is invited to accept or refuse a proposal. Now all these people have done that. They had taken up their roles, or they had shown their roles by casting the votes, and thus they threw the people down, or the absolutes, those people who are trying to control them, they threw them down. Now because of this painting, it doesn't mean that people understood everything. Okay, the cause of oneness was brought by a feeling, a feeling of nation state. Now what is a nation state? Nation state means what? When some people, a group of people, they come together and they realize that we belong to same culture, we have one common identity, let us live together. That is known as a nation state. So nation state started to be built up. Okay, in many cases, the nation states symbolizes group of people. Same group of people means speaking the same language, having the same traditions. All these people live together and form their country, and when they all come together, because they belong to the same they share the same tradition, they have the same way of thinking, eating habits, dressing up, so there is no cause of fighting, and thus they are very happy. And when they are happy, God is blessing them from above. That is what the picture depicts. So here we'll try to see what changes really occurred in political and constitutional scenario due to French Revolution. Now first of all, the French Revolution gave the people the idea of nationalism and the concept of nation state. Here the people started to think that they can shape the destiny of their country. So because of this feeling, the transfer of sovereignty was taken away from the king and was given to the body of French citizen, that is a National Assembly. Now for this there were some kind of measures which was taken up by the revolutionaries so that they can get the best out of their citizen. The French revolutionaries emphasized the idea of la patrie, that is the fatherland, and the le citoyen, that is the citizen. It emphasized the nation of a united community enjoying equal rights under a constitution. A new flag, the tricolor, was chosen to replace the former royal standards. The State General was elected by the body of active citizens and renamed it as National Assembly. Promises were taken, new songs or new hymns were composed, and the martyrs were commemorated, all in the nation or all in the name of the nations. So this was a step taken up by the measures taken up by the revolutionaries, so that no one can forget what was done for the country. But how did the revolutionaries spread the ideas, or the revolutionary ideas spread to other countries? The French revolutionary ideas did not only spread to the other countries but also inspired the oppressed people with the liberal ideas. Okay, the French stated that it was their mission to liberate not only the French people but also people of all parts of Europe. And then the French armies carried the ideas of nationalism with the outbreak of French revolutionary wars. Then because of this, Napoleon introduced many different uniform administrative system like the civil code, which abolished the feudal system and freed the peasants and bondage of the people. So now the civil code of 1804 introduced by Napoleon was known as Napoleonic Code. Why this civil code started? It's very simple. Civil code means what? It took away all the rights or all the privilege of those people who were born rich, or they used to get so many things by birth. Okay, so now because of the civil code, all these rights were taken away, and thus equality established before law and secure the rights of the property. Now Napoleon reformed the rest of the Europe, but what was the impact of this reform? In the areas which was conquered by Napoleon, the reaction of the people or the local population to French rule was mixed. That means they are happy as well, they are sad also, okay, or they are angry. The French armies, first of all, were welcomed by the people or the locals, okay, in many places like Holland and Switzerland, as well as in Milan, Warsaw, Mainz, and Brussels. There were many administrative changes, and these administrative changes give peasants, artisans, and small businessmen a new freedom. Different types of changes were brought so that peasants, means all those people who were doing some small businesses, they get chance to earn more money. Then he also introduced uniform law, standardized weights and measures were also brought. Then common currency was made, so, and because of this common currency, business was facilitated. Means now they don't need to worry, like if I go from one region to another region, which money or which currency should I carry. Now throughout the same area, throughout the same country, same currency is being used, and that was a very good thing for the businessman. Increased taxation, censorship, forced enrollment into French armies to conquer other lands was also implemented, and this made them a little bit unhappy. Okay, but besides this, they also brought new arrangements which was very good for them. That means transport communication system was improved. Okay, but however, there was when the reaction was asked, when you talk about reaction, people were not happy at all. The cause of this unhappiness was the last point that I said: increased taxation, censorship, and then forceful enrollment into the French armies. all seem to be outrages the administrative changes that was brought by the French armies or Napoleon. The making of nationalism in Europe. In the 18th century map, if we go through, we will find that Europe was not as it is what we can see now. There were no nation states. Germany, Italy, Switzerland, whatever we see now, actually this was ruled by some kingdoms, and Germany was divided into some different types of sectors or areas and ruled by different kings. It was the same story with all the countries which I had just said. Switzerland was divided into different sectors, different kings used to rule there. It was actually a patchwork, not only different types of area, but different types of kings were there. Different language speaking kings used to be there, and they did not see themselves sharing a collective identity or a common culture. They always feel that we are not same during 18th centuries, because it was ruled by some autonomous monarchies, the kings. Now the Habsburg Empire, that was ruled over by Austria-Hungary, for example, was a patchwork. When I say patchwork, it means mix up. It was mixed with many different regions and people. It included the Alpine regions, the Tyrol, Austria, and the Sudetenland, as well as Bohemia, where the aristocracy was predominantly German. See, here you will find German speaking people mostly. It also included some Italian speaking provinces of Lombardy and Venetia. If you talk about Hungary, now half of the population, they used to speak Magyar, while the half of the people spoke a variety of dialects, different types of dialects here. Now in Galicia, the kings or the ruler used to speak in Polish. Besides this, there were three dominant groups, and these live within the boundaries of the empire. A mass of subjects, peasants or the poor people, or the Bohemians and Slovaks to the north, and Slovenes in the Carignola, the Croats to the south, and the Romans to the east of Transylvania. So with this, what we can see is all areas were ruled by different types of people. Thus there was no common feeling. They don't feel like we belong to the same area or we belong to the same part of the land. So nationalism was very weak out here. Such differences did not easily promote a sense of political unity. The only tie binding these diverse groups was a common emperor. Allegiance to the emperor. Suppose now, why these people, though they are living in one area, they speak Polish, they speak Spanish or whatever it is, why they have little bit of common feeling? Because their king is one. Now, how to emerge or how to bring this nationalism in Europe? That was a big question. So the answer will be with the aristocracy now. Now what happened during the aristocracy? A landed aristocracy, landed means those people who have lots of land, was the dominant class of the continent, socially as well as politically. The members of this class were united by common way of life that cut across regional divisions. The people, because they are rich, this rich people are connected with the rich people, and they have a very good social and political life. Plus they dominate the poor classes. Industrialization began in France and parts of Germany or German states during the 19th century. Now because of this industrialization, new social groups came into being. A working class, and then population of middle classes started. Slowly and steadily, ideas of national unity among the educated liberal middle classes also started to gain popularity, which led the abolition of aristocratic privileges. Now in this part what we have to note is this: when the kings were ruling, there were people who had some feeling like the king is good, the king is bad. And slowly, when the rich people started to dominate the poor ones, and they started misleading them, misguiding them, that moment there came some educated group of people. They also belong to the high class, but they came up with some idea saying that why are we ill-treating the poor people, and thus they make some new groups. And when the new groups was made, they started to pass on the idea of commonness. That means we are one, we should do something good for our own country. And slowly the nationalism started, the spirit of nationalism was coming up.